Hi guys, got the final coat on. Paper towels, waiting for it to dry. So it's getting close to that. And I started putting the green on the head. Now, before you guys go, green werewolf. This is the base coat, just to give it a more sickly looking. Eventually he will be brown, well, several different colors to show where he's been stitched together and stuff and bloodied up and looking nasty. But I'm using green as the base coat so that it's more sickly looking than black or white. But that's what I've done so far. This is taking me all day and I'm waiting for that to dry before I can paint it. So probably tomorrow we'll be painting. Alright, talk to you later. Okay, update. God, you can't see because the low light. But been cleaning the barn. Got a new storage cabinet. But what you really want to know about, he's all green, even the head. And I am starting with the brown. Now, why I painted him green before was so that I could do this and have a lot of the green coming through. The brown just be a real, not really dry brush because it's thicker than what I consider dry brush. But it's still got the green showing through. So that's going to give it a very sickly look. I mean, that's the color of the brown naturally, and that's what it's looking like on him. It's very sickly. And this is going to happen to all of him. And then I will be going back in and dry brushing the different hair colors. I've got all these hair to put on him. Now, it's not going to be as pretty as it is here, because once it's attached, it'll be goried up a little bit. And they're going to be shorter strands. But, so, like, once he's all done brown, let's say I decide to do this with red, I will go over with a brownish red color and lightly dry brush it. So it's just highlights through it. And then I'm going to glue the hair onto it. Well, that's the plan anyhow. And then, of course, gory up and add stitching and all that stuff. The clay, I made some porcelain clay. Yay! And it's been resting for almost 24 hours now. So I can, here in a little bit, I can work with it. And I'm going to make him teeth. And I'm thinking, depending on how the teeth come out, I'm going to cover these eyeballs with it to give it a more glossy look. Because right now they're just styrofoam, like floral balls. You know, they're just little styrofoam balls for projects and stuff that's holding the spot. But they're the right size. So I might just leave them in there and then just do the porcelain over it and then paint the eyeball on it. So that's an update. I'll probably have another segment before I film. So I'm kind of getting to the point that I don't remember to film everything. So no tutorials, just progress reports. Alright. Hello. As you can see, I got all the brown done on it. And I started with the arms. Now the back's heavier because I wanted to use up the paint than the front. So it came out more whitewashed than airbrushed. But as you can see, the brown and the green still shows through in some areas to give it that sickly look I'm wanting. And this is for the white hair. I only did 2 sections on that and then a section on the head. But the entire thing's brown and I'm going to start adding the colors now. Monday I go and get I order the glue to stick the hair on. Because I don't think Elmer's or hot glue will work. And I don't have a Michaels around here, so I gotta order it from online. Yeah! But I might just go ahead and start bloodying up the scars and stuff. As you can tell, this one I did with the toilet paper. Because I really wanted it to be a nasty seam line right here on the chest. So it's all nasty and gory looking. So, and then over here, the cold porcelain, I'm working on the eyes. I still got to put in the black part and then the little white dot to make it look like it's an actual real eye. 2 different color eyes from 2 different werewolves. I did the teeth. Those came out good. And the tongue, of course. So I'm going to start with the other colors on him, and then his nose needs to be black, and then the hair, and that will be done. I also, while I had the clay out, was experimenting. Started making little charms and stuff for necklace. These are the 2 teeth that I experimented with. As you can see, they really rock hard. I mean, I'm putting a lot of pressure on them, and they're not flexing or breaking or anything. So this will eventually go on a necklace. And then I did like witch's fingers. This was my first attempt at a bird claw. Didn't really come out. I don't know, being stupid. But then I did this one, which I like better. It's smaller. Yeah, let's see if I can get it to, there we go. And it's got a hole on it so it can go on a necklace. My first attempt at the bird skull. The shape of it's rather nice and I like it, but then I realized birds' eyes aren't up front, and I looked it up online. And here's my second attempt. Eyes on the side, and then the nostril holes on the beak. Can you see that? Might help if I have it the right way. Nostril holes on the beak. And those don't have holes in them because I'll just wrap them with wire. The same with my attempt at little skulls. Since these are really crappy looking skulls, I'll just go ahead and wrap wire around them. I'm going to age them out and see if I can make them look a little bit better. And then I just did a flat little pendant that I could paint anything on. So I still got a decent amount of clay left. I got to get the air out of that. So I'm still experimenting on what I can do with it. And then now that it's daylight, I'll show you. The barn was clean until I started working on the sink. So I've got the frame for it, and there are the legs. I just gotta, believe it or not, the frame was a pain in the butt, and I hurt myself a couple times doing it. So I've just got to get the gumption to put that on there. And in the back, if you can see it, is the green cabinet that used to be in my workroom. And it's got all the lab equipment in it, around it, on top of it now, as that'll be the staging area for the lab equipment. So yeah, I've done a little bit. I've had help. I will get the rest of it moved out. I've got this big, huge board here, and I have no idea what to do with it. So any suggestions? I might just use it for like a wall filler. I don't know, run it across that beam there just to lift that wall up a little bit more. I don't know. But an update on the vanity. My lovely son decided to knock it over. Thankfully, it's the old glass that broke in pieces, so I'm going to try to duct tape it along the back so it can't be seen back together and put it back in the holder. But the cracks will still be there. But yeah. Other than that, I'm thinking about doing another topper, because we have like a pantry room that I was going to put the 55-gallon barrels in for Gore. So I know this one needs some fixing. The spine needs to be glued back onto here, and then some painting needs to be done to it. But what do you guys think if I make another topper? Do you want me to try to do it like a tutorial so you guys can see what I'm doing? Let me know. Alright, I only got 4 minutes left, so we're going to try to make this quick. This is Widowmaker made his rock walls out of metal screens for windows. I happen to have a roll, so I decided I wanted my back wall of my scientist lab to be rock. And then on the side panels here, I'll paint them so they look like rock. Of course, they're not going to look too good like rock, but they'll just have just like a rock design painted on them. But this is only the first coat, so if you get up close, you can still see the screen. I ran out of joint compound before I can do any more. I've got to go buy some. But the good news is, even though it needs a couple more coats before I'm happy, back here in the low light, it already looks like rock. So that's good. Quickly jumping over crap. I don't know if I already mentioned this because I've got to edit a bunch of clips together. And low light, of course, you're not going to see it. Fungal. Anyhow, maybe if I get closer. No. Well, I have the kitchen sink done. The stand on it done. Raymond and my other helper, David, did that. I started it, they finished it. We pulled this one out to get the measurements and start with the stand of that. Outside light bad. I made a goodie platter to be on the table, you know, for all the guests that are going to come through. Update on the werewolf is I've got to get the glue still. I'm probably going to order that later today. I'm waiting on somebody to contact me about their payment. And I've started, except I put a hole in him, but I started on the basic framework for the baby werewolf. I've got to go ahead and finish him. Other than that, I haven't really done much since the last thing I filmed. But I just want to do a quick overview update because I'm about ready to edit and post. Alright, I think that's it. And like I said, I've been taking film clips as I've been doing stuff or getting stuff done. And I will continue to do that, but you'll probably only get a weekly post because I'm lazy. Alright, said it, done it. Not that many of you watch this anyhow. For those who do watch, thank you. You keep me going. Stay scary or spooky or happy Halloween or one of the under a million things you guys say.